Hello, my name is Shelby, and this is my YouTube channel, Tech Tangents. But that isn't what I want to talk about today, because I'm launching something new that is completely separate from that. I'm starting an independently run, community-driven repair wiki called Caps Wiki, and I want your help with it. I'll get to the name in a bit, but first, why am I doing this? It can be difficult to find useful information on repairing devices because it can be spread around in so many different places: YouTube videos, forums, mailing lists, and others that may not be indexed by search engines like Discord servers. I want to create a central place for this information to be written and posted by anyone so it can be found and used by everyone. So I decided to launch my own website. And yes, the XKCD standards comics should be put here. But unlike the other services I mentioned, this website is meant to be maintained as a knowledge database rather than a place for sharing project logs. I'm hoping this distinction shines through to make for a better experience. This is an ambitious undertaking that I will need help with. So if this sounds like your kind of thing, I hope you'll stick through this video and see what this is all about. Let's jump right into this and take a look at the website. First, I want to let you know that while I have been working on this for a number of weeks, it is still under development and some things may change. The homepage serves as a portal for finding devices that have already been documented and some general educational information for repairs. For now, let's check out a device that has been fully documented already, my 3DFX Voodoo 5 that I did a repair on a few years ago. On the right, we have some basic information about the device with a picture. In the main area of the page, there is a general description of the device, followed by the first bit of information that is meant to help troubleshoot. In this case, it mentions that when there is no video, that the capacitors near the power connectors may be bad, and includes an image of what that area looks like. There is then a solution, which, as you might expect, is to recap the card. Immediately after that, there is a warning that the capacitors may be glued in place to let you know that they might be more difficult to remove than expected. After that is where we get to the namesake of the wiki, the list of capacitors, followed by some suitable replacements. While my main goal for the website is to help people repair any electronic devices, my personal focus is on vintage electronics, and especially in those, the number one thing that fails are capacitors. So I picked the name Caps Wiki because they play such a large role in repairs. But let me make it clear, I want anyone to document anything that would be helpful. Replacement tubes for old radios, belt sizes for cassette players, battery mods for Dallas clock motherboards, all of it. But since the majority of failed electronics are caused by capacitors, this site has some defaults tailored to them to make them easier to document. And for that, I have set up a two-phase process based on original and replacement parts. First should be all the information you can get about the parts that the device originally came with. For capacitors, this includes more obvious things like capacitance and voltage, but also more technical things like the diameter, the type of capacitor, and the series. The goal here is that even if compatible replacements aren't listed on the page, there's enough information for someone else to order parts based on the description of the originals. The values put here should also only be from the original parts, never replacements, so there isn't a game of telephone being played with the values, making them just slightly wrong. Now, when it comes to actually making repairs, the replacement parts are the more beneficial information for people though. And when it comes down to it, the only information you really need for repairs is what to buy and where to put it. So the preference is to just give the reference designations, a quantity for ease of ordering, and a compatible part number. You can then link to somewhere you can buy the parts. In the Voodoo 5's case, I've added links to multiple parts distributors. While it would be preferable to have both of these tables filled in on every page on the wiki, there will be caveats and exceptions that are understandable. For example, if you've previously worked on a device and only have your invoice of the parts that you ordered, still feel free to put that information on a page. The goal isn't to make a perfect website, it's to make one that can help people. So whatever information leads to that end is welcome. Now, both the original and replacement tables share a similar header, and that is another part that has a potential critical importance. Devices can have many circuit boards in them, and there can be different revisions of the same device. For example, there are a large number of revisions of the Commodore 64 motherboard that would make different listings of parts incompatible. So the tables with parts information need to be separated by what PCB they are meant for and which version. You don't need to be an expert on a particular device to do this though. To make this easier, there are just two sections that you should fill in. A basic name for the PCB, which can be as simple as power supply, and right beneath it, any model numbers or revision markings you can see on the circuit board itself or stickers on it. This should be enough information for anyone else coming by to tell if they have the same version of the PCB and to know if the parts listed would be relevant. One last thing before we move away from the device page. As I've mentioned, I'm still working on the website and adding features, and I just added this one right before writing my script here, so I don't have many great examples of it yet. But at the top of every device page, there is a tab labeled Disassembly. This can be used to document how to disassemble or tear down a device. It's a little weird to add tabs like this, and it currently shows up on all the pages, so I'm still working out some kinks. But if you have more advanced notes and photos, this would be a better place to put them than the disassembly notes section, which is just meant to give users a quick summary of things to watch out for when working on something. You could also make a quick note there and link to the disassembly page with more information as well. Another goal I have set for Caps Wiki, in addition to documenting repairs for devices, is to educate and demystify some aspects of repairs. So I've taken a lot of research I've done on capacitors for upcoming videos and restructured it into sections on the wiki. Here you can read about the types of capacitors there are, what their unique specifications are, how to measure them, and more. I've also added a section for specialty information, like working on a device with a CRT. These specialty pages will come into play again later when we cover categories, in a follow-up video. This information can not only be helpful to newcomers, but also serves as a guide for picking parts. Additionally, I'm trying to build up documentation on things that might be difficult to find information on, such as what brand identification markings there are on capacitors. And it would be nice to eventually start getting enough data points to be able to predict which devices could need repairs by just looking at the caps in them and by correlating brands, production eras, and known failures. We're a long way off from that being possible right now, but it's the kind of thing centralizing information like this could make possible. So, there's my pitch for the site. I hope I've piqued your interest and you check it out. Let me quickly mention the topic of money though, because nothing is free. I am funding this project myself, and I'm not currently looking for any financial contributions because I'm serious and passionate about this concept and I don't want it to be seen as me trying to profit off of it. To me, the worst case is that nobody uses it and it stays cheap to host forever. The site taking off and becoming expensive is a problem I want to have. Now, let's say that does happen. I promise there will never be ads on Caps Wiki, though I could see taking sponsorships with something like a static image on the homepage. I've seen too many wikis ruined by incorporating ads or other monetizing methods, and I want this to be a pure site that is light and easy to use. If you really want to help in some way, contributing information would be the most impactful thing right now. The site is also being published under the Creative Commons BY 4.0 license, which is extremely permissible. In short, that license means that as long as you say where the information came from, I don't care what you do with it. Share it in a YouTube video, copy it for a blog post, screenshot it for a tweet, whatever. I'm more concerned about the accessibility of the information than strangle-holding ownership. So keep that in mind if you do decide to contribute. All right, that is it for the moment. I'm going to have a follow-up video in a few days on the topic that will discuss how to contribute to Caps Wiki in more detail. But if you want to check it out now and get started, there are a few pages that you can read that document it all on the site as well. It feels so good to finally put this out there, and I hope that the vision I have for Caps Wiki comes across. I embrace contributions with open arms to the site because I want it to be as helpful as possible for people. So if you want to join and start making some pages, feel free to. I am really excited about this and look forward to seeing what gets put up and how the future of the site evolves. If you want some more examples of using the site, I've actually been documenting devices while live streaming on Twitch, and I've put up the recordings for that on my second channel. So you could watch those now for another look at it, or you could follow me on Twitch to see another live stream of it. That is it for now though, and I'll see you next time.